Alright, hello. This is going to be a replay review of a Diamond 2 Loki. Now, I noticed that for this review, you asked specifically about Loki's mechanics, being his clones. Loki is not my most played character. I'm not a one-trick Loki. Although I do have a strong general understanding of how to play him, and I know how the best Loki players are kind of using his kit. So I should be able to help you out regarding clone usage. So the second we come out of spawn here, we should be teleporting. We want to get our setup down as soon as possible. That way our clones are back off cooldown by the time we're starting the fight here. This is looking like we're going to be set up way too late.
Just keep those slimy fins of yours off, Susie.
Yeah, you can see that your cooldowns are going to be aloof. Okay, I'm also going to real quick pause before we get into it here. Cause my general understanding of Loki's clones, the ways that the best Loki's player use the clones, is that we have one kind of defensive clone that's going to be staying up. It should be a lot harder for the enemies to break, and will be kind of more focused on pocketing your team, and will be a safe place for you to teleport out. And your other clone is going to be one that's more like offensively used. That one you can use to get more damage. You can have it further up so that if you need to use your shift, you just have a clone that's like right there. And my kind of understanding of why this is good as well is because whenever your clone dies, you have to replace it. And if you have both of your clones playing where enemies can see them, you're going to be constantly having to replace two clones, which is going to take, you can't be constantly replacing two clones. But if you have one clone that's going to here always getting value of healing your team, and then another clone that can be your offensive usage clone, then you're only going to have to be like replacing one clone. And whenever that one breaks, you plop a new one down for that. Let's see where you go ahead and put your clones.
I outnumber you.
You have to stop them from securing the mission area.
That means we have two at the... Yeah, okay. So... Problem with this is these are both going to break really fast. I don't know, it might be good, I'm not an expert in this, but it might be good to have like 3 up at the start just to rack up ult charge. But I suspect it's probably better to just have one like right here, and then have one. You could maybe be playing with this clone here, and then be playing a bit more offensively. You can heal team, and then if you start getting pushed, you can kind of fall back over here. If we're playing on top of this box, the issue I have with this is that this clone is going to get broken by people that you can't even see when they're breaking it, because they're going to be right here, right? And you can't see them here. They can just break both of your clones here. If you had one clone here and maybe playing with it, that could be good, because then you can get value out of it. If you want to play up here, this seems like, what I would do is I would have another clone that's going to see him at the same time that you're seeing them. That way it doesn't get broken without you being able to get this value off. So like maybe have your other clone like right here, because then when they come out of this little corner, you'll be blasting them and they're going to have to deal with you, this clone, and then you have your other clone playing on that little thing, like I said, right here, because you can actually put clones up here. And this one will be, for your team. So you'll be nailing them. They eventually break that clone. That's fine. We can continue healing our team with that clone, and now we only have to replace one of our clones. Okay.
Thanks.
That one hurts.
Your god is suffering.
So the second we're getting nailed here, we need to instantly be reacting. I mean, I can already tell without looking. It's a Human Torch. I think you can too with the noise, and the fire animation particles. So at this point, we need to react, because the Human Torch can delete us very quickly here. So I would be either dropping down or instantly teleporting. I'd probably just drop down, because I don't think we really need to teleport. If we can just drop down, we're in a safe position, and then we can use our teleport when we may want to.
My thanks.
That one hurts.
Your god is suffering.
Yeah, if we had dropped down and just played the cover in the left there, I don't think we would have needed to use our shift. So I think we could have played cover there instead of teleporting into an exposed location. Also, it's another reason that having a clone in a safer, less line of sight spot would be good, because then it would actually be decent idea to maybe teleport up here, right? Because you teleport here, it's much harder for enemies to see you, right? Because that Johnny was originally like over there, and if you had your clone right here, I don't think he's necessarily going to see you. We teleport right here, they're all going to see you and know exactly where you are, so naturally that's why you instantly get pressured and you are forced to use shift.
Have to be center stage.
Invigorating, no?
That is much better.
That one hurts.
I am strengthened for battle.
I have many faces.
I'm not a big fan of that clone, because there's a big barrier thing, a square that your team could be walking behind and it won't be able to heal them. It's also not on top of your team. Like if you need to shift your team, you're gonna have to use another clone, because this one, assuming it's still alive, is not where your team is. So there's no way they're gonna be walking over here to get in your shift. Um, of course I forgot we don't even have shift. Well, okay, it's up to 5 seconds. Still, not great clone. It's also right where all the enemies can see it. And it's right in their faces. Like it can be good to have an offensive clone, but you still probably want it to be like behind your team, or at least at an off angle. Like if you were, I don't know, you can't do it from this range, but like if you were to put a clone like right here, this could be better as an offensive clone, because it's harder for the enemies to turn and see it. So a better clone to situation could be one maybe up here, because it's not directly in their line of sight, right? They have to look up to get it. Whereas this, if you're Doctor Strange here and your Loki, the enemy Loki puts a clone bang slap in your face, you're just gonna delete that real quick. And again, it's not gonna be healing anyone behind that barrier.
Almost didn't make it again.
A nice deep freeze. Now, a disappear. Thanks so much.
Okay, right here. That should be your like red flag. Him jumping up like that ever towards you is a strange jumping at all is something you should be paying attention to. I know you're very focused on keeping your team up. Your clone and lamp usage was really good here for keeping them up. But we need to be like, the second you see a strange jumping on you like this, you're putting a clone down and you're teleporting away, 100%. Like, and if you didn't have clone, then you need to be going invisible and hoping that you can get away from this. Like, you need to get away from him. You cannot let him get on top of you. Because your position is honestly fine there. It's just that you need to respect when the enemy is contesting you. Okay, I wouldn't have given up on this point. So let me see. Because Thing might have his charge right here. Which he does. Thing does have charge here. So, when we are coming back from respawn, like right here, we come to our team, hey, I have ulti, can anyone touch? I can stall with ulti, I just need to, I'm very close to it, right? You want to make your team aware of the fact that you are almost at ulti, and we can 100% stall this point if someone can touch. And your Thing happens to be right there with his charge ready, so he can touch. So you'd want to at least try. Communicate with your team, say that we want to try for touch here. And if they don't do it, like if you say that and Thing doesn't run down the hallway, oh well, right? At least you tried. So I can't tell if you did comment in this game, but if you didn't, make sure that we're kind of thinking about whenever you have ulti and you're all the way back, like we can teleport up there, right? Right here, we can say let's touch, right? Thing charges down the hallway, you teleport up to the hallway on the left, you pocket Thing as he's touching the point, you turn behind you and ult Luna, because Luna should be right behind you. This point is very turnable, so I wouldn't give up on this. Not to mention, you also have a Strange, and he probably could have portaled for you guys. and to get more and more people back on point. Like if Thing died while you were pocketing him for your ulti, then Thing can just come back, right? And even if you didn't have a Strange, in Diamond, I don't think people will always switch to Strange if you ask for a portal. But the higher and higher rank you go up, the more and more people would just instantly switch to Strange if you say, hey, "Can we portal back?" Like it in like Celestial, even like mid to high Grandmaster, people like you just switch to Strange instantly. Like it's a portal, they have to portal. Like people understand that it's a big part of the game.
The
You need to stop that vehicle in the truck.
Okay, so problem with this clone, I mean, this is going to get broken real fast, and we're not really playing in a position where we can help. We can make the best use of this clone. Like, people are going to see your clone without you seeing them, so it's just going to die, like, for free. Um, this one could be okay. The issue, though, is that we don't have, like, a defensive clone now. So I'd probably want to have a clone. Maybe I think you can put one on this ledge right here. This would be good. You could well, maybe not on the ledge. Maybe like right here. Just playing natural cover. I want to make sure that it can see all the teammates standing right in here in main, and it can be pocketing them. And then you can have one more like over here or where you put this one that can be dealing some damage. And if we need, you can use it for your shift. But you need a clone designated for healing your team here. You see it? Now that first clone is dead, and I don't think we hit a single enemy with it.
Feeling better already.
Also, one thing to mention right now is that you and Luna are both about to have ulti, so I can't hear your comms, but we would need to be communicating with our other support, saying, hey, I'll ult first, Luna, or if you're in this situation, I think it'd be better if Luna gets her ult and ults first, just because they have Strange. We don't know what Strange's ult cooldown or ult charge is, so we need to be ready to counter it if he does it to us. And we can see he's kind of far away right now. Like they're not really going to engage in us right now. Magic looks like they might be in a second, but I don't know. If you can against a Strange have a Luna ult first is better because you obviously can't react fast enough to block a Strange ult as Loki unless you've already activated your ultimate. So yeah, I'd probably here just say Luna, let me ult first, and keep an eye out where Strange is. Maybe ult a little bit early if you see him flying above you. But most important thing is that we're communicating and saying one of you guys is gonna ult first. Don't just like chance it or think like I'll just let them ult first because they might be thinking the same thing.
Better stop that vehicle.
Supernova!
Nice. Okay, with the rocket ult being active at the same time as Human Torch kind of remaining here, I would definitely want one of you guys ulting. You or Luna should be ulting here. Like, there's a lot that your team is doing. Like, there's a Scarlet Witch ult on the right there, so your team is going to be forced towards the left into the enemy line of fire, right? So we need to be using a defensive ulti here.
render me assistance.
Your thing ended up just running forward and dying. I think, I have a strong feeling that if we use a defensive ulti here, thing wouldn't have had to die there. Like, I know that fight also did go fairly well for you guys, but you shouldn't chance it. Okay, we've had 2 clones for a while here. I would be trying to get one of my clones. Probably, I mean, this is not a great position for you guys. You're gonna get kind of pincered here. We don't really want to be standing here. I would probably want to standing more over here. We could maybe clone and TP. And then we have, a clone sitting right there, which can be good for an offensive one for a little bit before it breaks. But regardless of where we're sitting, we also want to have one of our clones kind of probably over here, being good for healing our team and for us getting out if we need to. So we go back a little bit. Like right here, right now, before this fight starts happening, I'll be putting at least a clone like right here. I want at least a clone there. Because that way it can be used for healing your team. They're not going to instantly break it. And if you get dove, you can TP out right there. A good reaction shift.
I have many faces.
Okay, so right here, we're actually focusing on damaging when we shouldn't be here. Because we just saw our team get kind of railed a little bit over here by an invis push, and we see Strange is, he's not looking at you, right? Strange isn't looking at you, right? That means that someone else in your team is getting pressured right now, and that would be your Luna. Okay, so right now, we are not looking at Strange, we are looking at Luna. And you can see, your Luna is actually looking at you right now. So that means that if Strange does start to target you, you're going to be getting healed by your Luna, right? And so this is something that can oftentimes be really good, is the supports will heal each other when they're being dove. But this is a situation where Luna's doing her job there, but you're not doing yours. You can see Luna's getting pushed by this Doctor Strange here, and dead, right? Oops, I accidentally tabbed out. Another reason that we'd also want a clone right here, right? Because if we had our clone already set up here, that could be even more helpful for helping us pocket this Luna when she's getting pushed here. Probably should have mentioned this before, but this fight shouldn't have gone like this at all anyways, because one of you guys should have ulted. Like, your Luna should have ulted this, for sure. Like right here, we should be pocketing our Luna, and then I mean, at this point, Luna should probably be ulting because you haven't ulted, right? But the problem is that, you know, if she presses ult, you might also be pressing ult, so there needs to be communication. One of you guys needs to ult here. There needs to be discussion happening, and you can also, you know, shock call and say, hey, let's Luna ult, right? Luna dying there is really bad because not only does she not ult, but now actually you can't Luna ult because Luna's dead. You could copy invis here, which would be really good. I mean, your Luna just died, so 100%. You've got a lot of team up, so it's still doable, right? It's 4 versus 5. The Human Torch also about to die here. Yeah, I would definitely invis ult this. Where's our clones at right now? We've got one clone there. Yeah, I mean, again, I'd probably have a clone like right here, more for like healing your team. Yeah, maybe like right up on this thing. This would be good. A little bit less like right where the enemies see it, so you can just have one that's more safe, able to heal your team. One on the left there and one on the top on this thing would be good, yeah. We're okay. So it's good that we focus healing this guy. I mean, he does kind of need it, although the thing is, he can tuck. By all means, he can tuck behind this corner. So he's low. We do want to heal him ASAP, but we need to be focusing the guys who are actually going to die here. In this case, it's going to be Strange and the Thing. So right here, we are spending a long time healing this guy. And then after we're doing that, we're actually spending time thinking about putting a clone down here. And we actually do have both of our clones alive right now. I mean, okay, well, that one's about to die. But I think we need to be a little bit more like on it in terms of knowing that we need to be, if we're not looking at our front line for a second and they're actively fighting, if there's something we have to do where we're not looking at our front line, this literal nanosecond that we finish doing that, we have to be looking back at our front line, ready to save them. Like, if we're looking to put a clone down right now, the only place we'd be putting it would be on our front line to use shift, if they're about to die. Yeah, look how our Strange is, there's no way he's alive right now. Yeah, you got away with a big mistake here. Your Strange should have died there, 100%. Or okay, rather I'll say your Strange 100% could have died because of a mistake that you made. I'll say it that way. So at this point, you and Luna need to be talking again about who's going to be ulting. Because the second stuff gets hairy, one of you needs to ult.
I outnumber you.
It's okay. Admit it. You need me.
You're quite welcome. Healing for my friends.
This is, okay, this clone setup. I wouldn't have moved that clone. I would have kept that clone where it was, because that one's good for talking our team and helping keep them alive. Your name were kind of, so I mean, we could also be E-shifting there to save him. Not to mention, we're also spending time doing the switching the clone over there, and during that time, Namor pushes up and dies when we're not ready for it.
You stop them in their tracks.
And just to reiterate, the reason I wouldn't switch that clone is because I think that these two are both going to die very quickly, and you're going to have to replace 2 clones, when we could just have 1 for offensive use. I mean, to be honest, we're not even really peaking this anyways, right? Look where we are. We're not really peaking this. So this is another situation where they can see the clones where you can't see them. And so if we're doing an offensive clone, that's bad, because it's just a giveaway. So I would keep that clone there. And then we could have this one here, but even I'd probably have this clone and this clone. That'd be good. Clone here, clone there. I like that, because then we can, you know, play a bit more aggressively and also have one to pocket our team.
Good medicine.
I outnumber you.
This is real. By the eye of Agamotto.
Okay, your team is definitely spending way too long without support ulting. We are very scared to use our support or that, or I don't know. I can't tell what's happening with the comms, but you guys need to be ulting faster. But it's good. Luna ulted now. I believe you guys are down 2, right? You have 2 that are on the way. Yeah, you got a Namor on the way, and you've got who is that? Is that, I think it's Hawkeye. Who is that? Hawkeye? Yeah, it's Hawkeye. Your Hawkeye is on the way back too. So yeah, assuming we live here, right? I mean, I don't think we die. Ooh, it got a little scary. Okay, so since we know that these guys are committing to a fight now, I would probably be ulting Luna now. Because we know we're not going to waste her ulti, right? We know that this fight is going to be continuing, and with all that's happening on the board right now, we don't want to risk being put in a situation where we can't Luna ult or having something go wrong. Oh, yeah, well, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. We want to ult Luna before her ult runs out. So, let's see. I want to watch Luna's perspective. Wait, that little fire animation? Right. The little burst of blue fire Luna does, that's when her ult's ending. So that's a good indicator of that's when you should be ulting as Loki for a Luna ult. In a big brawl like this. So ideally we would have already copied Luna, because we know it's a committed fight where we're gonna need another support ult after. And we're gonna want to make sure that we overlap the ult by like a second, because I mean, look at Luna, she's getting like hit by 3 fire pillars right now. So we want to make sure that we're not letting her die. And we're also standing outside of the invis ulti. We walk into this and we are ulting Luna.
I have many faces.
Agamotto!
Yeah, seeing 3 of them get stunned here, I wouldn't hold this. There's no, they're gonna get, that's like a guarantee wipe right there.
Your powers are mine!
I am by the eye of Agamotto!
For my friends.
Come, my minion.
Where's our other clone right now? Oh, there it is. Okay, so again, we're with our, oh my god, with our clones, we're again having both of them kind of right in front of the enemies here. I would want to see one of our clones like back here, being for pocketing our team.
Your god is suffering.
I am strengthened for battle.
I have many Loki gone.
Oh yeah.
Invigorating, no.
So Human Torch's little flying ability detonates these, and they do a ton of damage. I think if he flies into you and detonates that, it's like 95 damage. So that's gonna like absolutely slap you. So if you see these on the ground, try not to walk into them, especially if Human Torch is near you and like able to safely fly onto you. Because you watch this, ready? Boop, dead, easy peasy. So don't stand on those.
That vehicle.
Invigorating, no. Thank me
We use our shift here.
late. Invigorating, no. Just with the dark door.
I'm gonna assume that was a misclick. I'm not gonna elaborate on that anymore. I'm gonna assume that was a misclick.
Thank me later.
I'm hurt.
Oh, I'm fine. Don't mind me.
A nice now and ever. Stop them.
So you see how a second ago we actually put
You are restored.
right
A nice
here, we have 2 clones up now, right? Watch how fast these clones both die.
Is suffering.
Now first one's dead, and okay, the second one's dead, right? And now we have no, I mean we have our abilities for 2 more clones, but we don't want to be constantly replacing 2 of our clones. So I do like this clone up here. This is good. I don't like the one that you put right here though. The reason being is at this point we want our other clone to be out of line of sight where we can pocket our team. So like right here would be good, like in this corner. You do want to be careful not putting it too far back on this level, because if you're trying to hit people here, it'll get stuck by the ground. So if you can either put it like right on the edge on this corner here, or you could consider putting it way back here. This could be good for you getting out for some reason if you need to. Um, Actually, let me see. Yeah, I think there's no issue with this spot actually. I'd probably put your other clone right here. That would be better. So it can pocket your team here. I think maybe if they're standing right here, it might struggle a little bit if you're shooting the ground, but I think it'll be fun. So yeah, 1 offensive clone here, it's fine. You can use it to get some damage off here. And then 1 defensive clone here for actually healing your team.
You have my full
Supernova!
I outnumber you.
Ooh, okay, so that wait, where's the other clone? Is it behind us? Okay, it's right next to us. Yeah, again, we're putting our clones both directly in the enemy's faces.
I still need you.
Yeah, we use. She died. I get we're using our lamp for blocking Scarlet Witch ulti, so that's good. But yeah, I think she did die early enough for us to not need the lamp.
Thanks so much.
By the eye of Agamotto!
Invigorating, no.
I like this.
I have
Okay.
many places.
Again, I would.
I am
Healing for my friends.
by the eye.
Yeah, it's tough because you guys have numbers here, so I don't think we need the Luna ult.
I like the
I have many faces. I am strength. Your god is
We should have been focusing healing Luna here, by the way,
I
not the Namor and the Strange. Because look at your Luna, she was
have
actually stunned by the. You can see she was stunned by the Doctor Strange ult. You can see her little ghost here. We need to be pocketing her.
I like the
Get her out of there.
I have many faces. Your god is suffering.
And again, think if you had a clone right here this whole time, think about how much value you would have got for like pocketing this guy, pocketing your Luna when they're getting dove here, because both your clones died immediately, right? So you had no clones for this whole fight. But that clone could make a huge difference. Maybe even right here, just so we can get more of an angle on these guys right here. So right now we have a clone here and a clone on cart. Okay. Again, both in line of sight enemy. Like right in their faces.
I outnumber you.
We moved our one that was on the cart. Yeah, you do want to avoid putting your clones like right next to each other, because that makes it really easy for enemies to break them real fast.
only 60 seconds left.
Not to mention as well, this clone is closer to what I'd be talking about a one that's positioned more safely, like for your team. This is actually not where I'd want it though, because this is kind of a bad clone in general, unless like it's for shifting your team on point or something when the enemies are already up here. But if they're out here, this is not a good clone, because it gets blocked by the ground a lot here. You can see a lot of this area, it actually can't shoot. So if you want to clone here, it'd be on this little ground behind you, it'd be better. That, or you need to be putting it like up on this corner where it won't get blocked. Okay, that we Luna ult for sure. We should also be E shifting for our thing here, by the way. Yeah, a little late on it. And then when we see him die, this is kind of one of if not the last fight. Especially because Strange can portal your spawn off, so this is probably against a good Strange. This is your last fight. So we need to be ulting Luna here, 100%.
This is real firepower. I am strength. Render me assistance.
Don't give them another inch.
Okay, so for attack, I'd say I think two major things that you want to focus on fixing. Number one is making sure that we have at least one safer clone that is able to stay alive more and keep your team up, and not have both your clones just die off the rip. And number two is we are holding our defensive ults way too much. In fact, there's 2 fights that we lost directly because we didn't defensive ult when we needed to. Make sure that we are communicating with our ally support about defensive ultis and be on it. One more thing that did really hurt your attack half or your defense half here was getting picked by that Strange at the beginning. Although I don't really think that was a consistent issue. That was more of just a one-off. But definitely make sure that we are aware of people diving on top of us and address it immediately. Let's move on to attack here.
I have many faces.
Feel like myself again.
You are restored.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I would probably I don't like this clone because he's not really gonna do anything. I know we do want to have one that's like less in line of sight of the enemies, but I'd probably just stick it like right here, because the enemies that you can, I mean, not that you can always assume, but we can see now there's no one holding main really. I mean, there's people on high ground. But you put your clone right here, I'd say this is a good one for like keeping your team alive, right? And then we can have one more up here that can be the offensive one, getting, damage off and being there for shifting your team. mean, this isn't terrible. We've just you've got two clones that are kind of more for pocketing your team now, but they are in a choke where they're taking a lot of damage, so I think this can be all right. I would maybe have your second clone maybe like right here, just because I mean your front line is going to be getting focused anyways, so I think your clones are probably going to be fine for right now. Um, but this isn't terrible. This is pretty decent.
Oh, I'm fine, don't mind me.
Pokies incoming.
Magneto.
I outnumber you.
A nice
Sure.
deep freeze.
Exactly as I expected.
Oh, I'm fine, don't mind me.
I've been shaken, no
Invigorating,
cash.
no.
Magneto.
I outnumber.
I doubt it.
No. Oh, I'm fine, don't mind me.
Is this is why I'd probably want one of your clones up here. Right. Let's see. Do you have another clone? Which other clone? Where is it? Oh, you do. Sorry, I'm so sorry. You do have a clone here. This is good. But we are.
Magneto.
Yeah. Okay. So we put a clone here.
Oh, I'm fine, don't mind me. I'm a true team player.
Magneto.
I outnumber you.
A nice deep freeze.
Tough timing on the reload. Okay. One thing I'm gonna want to mention now, before moving on, is we see we're at 95% to ulti, right? So we're gonna get our ult pretty fast here. I mean, I think you probably can also tell in this game at this point, you've got your ult very fast. I mean, we can see retrospectively now, Invis is only at 37%, and that's their only defensive ult, right? So when we're on attack, we don't want to really be holding our defensive ults for too long because we want to. Our job is to try and be aggressive, right? We want to. Time is against us. We need to be as fast as possible. So whenever we're in a committed fight with the enemies, where the enemies are like committing into us and stopping us from moving the cart, it's an all-out brawl. We want to be using our defensive ult. Once we know the fight's committed, in when they and just to clarify what I mean by committed, where they can't just walk away from us. Where that's not an option. And we want to use our ult then because it'll do one of two things. One, we'll roll them because we defensive ulti and they, let's say they didn't, right? They didn't defensive ulti for whatever reason. Then we win the fight. We kill them, we win the fight, we get progress in the card. Good for us. The other scenario that happens is that they match your defensive ulti, which is ult trading, and that is going to be good for you because you want defensive ultis out of the way when you're on attack because defensive ultis stall out the game and they also prevent people from getting picked. So it's going to make it take longer for you guys to actually make progress on the cart. So if we're at 95% right now, or yeah, 95% to our ultimate, we're gonna be thinking about let's get ready to like slam them here, right? Because there's no way these guys have their ult ready. Um, we got our super fast, so I'd be thinking, the second that our team is getting to committed fight here, we're gonna ult and we're gonna be telling our team to go into their backline because we if your team has a defensive ulti and theirs don't, it can be really strong to just ult right into their backline and just roll them over. So that's what I'll be thinking about here.
My thanks, hero.
Help get that vehicle to its destination. Just one. Limbo.
Also, it does mean, if that's our plan, we might want to communicate to our team that we want to avoid doing a bunch of poke damage while we're getting this free space and cart, right? Because we don't actually need to be really fighting. This cart's moving by itself. So we can kind of just chill a little bit and not give them defensive ult charge. Because I know Invis actually really isn't that close at all, but she could be. We don't know that. So we could just say, hey team, let's just don't feed them a bunch of ult charge. Let's just get the free space, and once they contest point, we're gonna Luna ult, and that way we're just gonna have basically a guaranteed wipe in this fight. Okay, so right here they're committing. Okay, this magic is deep. This strange is up. All right, we Luna ult this, and we tell our team to W key into them. Right? We roll them here. We roll them so fast.
Just in time.
And another reason that we, especially on Loki, want to do that is because you get your ult back really fast, which means that you can force out a lot of defensive ultis from the enemy team. And as a bonus, these guys are only running one defensive ult on defense, right? So that means that you can force out their first ulti. Like even if Invis had it, you can force it out, and then we have a fight where we have a defensive and they don't, and that can be really big. And one strength of Rocket, by the way, is he's really good outside of ultimate fights, right? He has a free res. He just has a ton of healing. Whenever there's not ults on the board, he gets a ton of value. And so it's kind of just a ticking time bomb. If you don't play this aggressively versus him when you have an advantage in ults like this, then he can just get a ton of value and stall out your game big time. You guys get a pick? Oh, it's res. Doesn't matter. And it's really hard for you guys to get another pick anyways because you guys have so much healing.
So forget it.
This is real firepower.
Okay, your Luna actually ulted here. At this point, it's a little bit late, to be honest. Like, this ult right here. This is a bad ultimate by Luna. At this point, you guys actually already won this fight, or at least you've got control over this payload, right? Look, the magic's only went on him. I think they tickled Luna a little bit, and she got scared. Right? Let's see. Oh no, it's magic! Ah! Right? Don't use your ult like that. Okay, I know this isn't you, but just frame of reference. This is a bad ultimate because we're getting this space for free. We don't need our ult here. Okay, you're just built different like that.
Shape in no time.
And also, I think that was good to stand your ground and fight her there, obviously, because you have your lamp. So, good call. Well played.
Nova!
I am ready to.
That is a good ult by you, because at this point, this is a committed fight. I know we're getting payload moving, but at this point, your team is at risk of dying, and enemies are committed here. So this is a good ultimate by you. This is
Put on
good.
a show. Ready to do some.
How did what?
Damn it. Need some help. I don't have to be center stage.
I mean, he did get deleted so fast. I know I think it's generally good as Luna to be doing the alternating thing, but that's tough.
Ready to do some damage.
I mean, 'cause obviously, if you had it on healing the whole time, he wouldn't have died. Yeah, that is really tough. Just, I guess, be careful about switching to damage, making sure that someone's not going to get deleted. I think I was a little bit unlucky though. Okay, at this point we need to be telling our team to back up because we have used both for defensives and some. Also, how did we not kill any of them, by the way, during this? I guess Punisher dying was really bad. Is our magic dead? Oh, our magic was dead. Yeah, okay, I see. Yeah, the second Punisher died, you didn't have any more DPS. That's why. Yeah. So yeah, also as a rule of thumb, if we did use both our defensives and we didn't, we're not immediately winning that fight, we should be kind of backing up, especially with numbers disadvantage here, and be telling our team to back up, because otherwise what's going to happen, this is a fight we're going to lose.
By the eye of Agamotto!
We should be healing our Punisher right there. How did he die? What? Whoa, how did your Punisher die? His perspective. And where are we?
I outnumber you. Oh, I'm fine.
I think realistically you're probably fine because we saw Luna with Punisher, so.
I'm good to go. Oh, I'm fine.
Yeah, okay, that's not no, that's not your fault. Luna just freaking dipped on him. Better say, like, that didn't feel wrong, but how to Punisher? Yeah, okay. We saw Luna with Punisher. We can expect that Luna's actually healing our Punisher. That's not your fault.
Invigorate.
Although the second I see Luna next to me, I'd be like, what the heck? And be turning to
No.
see Punisher, right? Ah, it's too late though.
Outnumber you.
Good shift.
I feel like myself again.
Hold on. One thing I didn't notice. How long did they have a Moon Knight for? Okay, so our first encounter with Moon Knight is about right here. We can actually hear him throwing onks. And at this point, when we're against Moon Knight, we cannot be putting our clones where our team are. So what we're gonna need to do is be putting our clones more like away from our team, but where they can see our team and their team. So right there, that's a bad clone. Or against Moon Knight, that's a bad clone.
Is no more. I outnumber you. That's the full time to vanish.
You're halfway there. Keep going.
Be more careful next.
Here we've actually got a lot of spots we can be putting clones on high ground, and we're against Moon Knight, right? So I really wouldn't have your clones on low ground here. There's no reason to. You could easily have a clone up here on the ledge.
I don't have to be center stage.
The moon haunts you.
That's tough.
That's the
I mean, you're doing the right thing staying on cart. The second Luna died to Moon Knight ulti, that's just tough right there. I think they went a little too ham. With their ult coming to an end. Moon Knight also hit a nice ulti, is what it is. Here we just fall back regroup. Oh. Okay, so the second that your team died up there, we just leave. We get out. Since we die here, we can see where's our Luna at.
a mystical artifact.
Our Luna was basically back, right? But now we're gonna have to wait for you guys to respawn. Alright, where's Magneto? Didn't he die too? Okay, Magneto is on the way. But because you guys stayed and died, it went from what would be right now 5 people on your team alive still, with Magneto almost on the way back, almost back. Now your team's gonna have to wait again.
That one hurt.
And there's also the risk of Luna dying, right? So we want to we leave. Don't stagger. That's just a staggering mistake. What in the Loki T-pose am I looking at? Yikes.
I'll be ship shape in no time. You have my full support.
Okay, we're up 2. This should be a stomp.
I have your toys with perspective.
One small thing to note. If our team is not immediately at risk of dying, which right here, I would strongly argue here that your team isn't at immediate risk of dying. We see Magneto ulting, and which means he is looking to try and kill Invis in her ulti. If we know that our team is safe, it's generally good to wait a second to see if Magneto actually kills her. Because if she does die to Magneto, then you guys should kind of outright win this fight and not need your ulti.
A little help, please. Help. I was worried.
He does end up missing. Yeah, I wouldn't have invis-ulted this, to be honest, because a couple reasons. One, your Magneto. Wait, okay, first of all, this invis-ult is really bad by them. I mean, look where they put it. Their team is not inside this invis-ult. Two, Magneto's ulting, which means he's looking for their invis. So even if it is a good time for you to ult, as in for defensive to match it, if you can, you generally want to wait a second if you're Mag's ulting, because they might just be able to slam dunk invis, and then you don't need to ult because we just win the fight that way. But if your team is at risk of dying, then you can invis ult right away. But if they're not, consider waiting for a second to see if Mag can slam dunk this. But I mean, this invis ult is really bad. I mean, look where their team is. We just don't need to invis ult this. And also, I'll point out the main reason that I'm so hesitant to invis-ult there is because you guys right before the fight got 2 picks, so you already had a man advantage, which means we should be a little bit hesitant to use a defensive. We probably shouldn't need a defensive to win a 4v6. So it's if we're defensive ulting in a 4v6, it's because we made a giant error as a team and need to account for it. Or they used a bunch of ults and we need to counter it. Okay, so we hear them portaling. I mean, I wouldn't use. I mean, I think you know this already. I think you just panicked and used the teleport. But both of our clones were in the range of Moon Knight's ulti, so we don't teleport. We just try to walk to the side there. Okay, your Luna. But okay, I mean, between the both of you, we've had some questionable ult plays, either not ulting when we need to, or I mean, this is what's happening. Luna is ulting when they shouldn't be ulting, right? And you have not ulted when you did need to. So between the two of you, we've had a few errors here with ults, and that will make a very big difference to whether or not you're winning games. So I mean, kind of take this game as a if there's one thing that you should remember from watching this is make sure that we are using our ult properly, because this is making a big difference.
Ooh, there's Stark Fujikawa. Sorry.
I have many faces.
Yeah, I'd probably have that one there. That's a great clone. Oh, no, I take it back. This might be breakable. I wish I'll need to go in the game and check. If this isn't breakable, this is not a great clone, because this is gonna block a lot of your shot. If it is breakable, it's fine. I'd probably just go with this one to be safe. This clone is good, has a lot of, if you have main, that can be your more defensive one, and then your more offensive one can be somewhere right here when you're pushing up and fighting with your team. So imagine right now if your Luna still had her ulti that she blundered.
Together to victory!
Only 60 seconds left.
So at this point, we are teleporting out. I mean, really right here. This is just a clone teleport, right? Clone somewhere over here. You can jump, put a clone over there and TP. We need to be getting out.
My friends, together to victory!
Only 60 seconds left. Get that vehicle moving again.
Yeah, not teleporting out there is a big mistake.
30 seconds.
This is real!
I mean, nice slam dunk. Good job, LeBron. Guys, though, right? I mean, you can see we really want a defensive ulti here.
Thanks so much.
Ah, I see what happened. Okay, so we meant to click on Luna, I'm assuming. Yep, is what it is. There is a setting. I'm sure you know about it if you're in Diamond 2. There is a setting called Double Confirmation for God of Mischief. I personally like it on. I think it can be really good for situations where there's a lot of people on your screen and you have time to check and see which ult you got. I will say in this situation, you probably would be, pressing Q and spam clicking to get it ult as fast as possible, get it out. But um, I would consider having it on. It's personal preference. I will say Luna definitely could have ulted there. I'm pretty sure she got ulti before she died. Yeah, you can see she's actually got the health for it. So I mean, again, just take note of how impactful it is not ulting when you need to. Because we made the same mistake earlier. We did the same thing where it was a team fight where we needed to ult and we didn't and we lose.
I get the feeling you and I have a lot in common.
Are you the ruler of an
Okay, so this clone here would be our more defensive one. This is what we're using to heal our team, right? Because it's more behind cover to where we're going to see. Which means our next clone should be something a bit more offensive. Probably on top of that thing to your right, this would be a good one. Especially because we don't want to be putting our clone in our team. Since Moon Knight can, use it for ricochet. So I'm crossing my fingers here. I want to see you not put a clone inside your team.
civilization as well, child?
No. But I am a totem, like you.
That's it! Don't let it.
So you have a second clone. Where's your second clone? Oh yeah, this is okay. We need to be putting a clone down. I mean, this guy's not doing anything.
Anything stand in your way.
Ooh no! See, that's gonna ricochet. Yep. Oh well, I mean he's hitting you directly right now, but he can hit your clone and hit Luna.
A nice deep freeze. And down with you.
So again, we put another one. Moon Knight, I will say, Moon Knight is a specific matchup that's a bit more tough for Loki. Oh, he's gonna ult. But this is a tougher matchup. You do need to respect it though. So when you're against Moon Knight, if you're gonna play Loki into Moon Knight, you need to keep putting your clones where he's not gonna get ricocheted. So up here is good. This clone over here is also good. We need to be replacing this one at some point soon, just because he's gonna become non-impactful in a second. So maybe you can update that clone to be something like, right. I mean, we have one there. We could have our other clone over here. This could work. This would be a safer clone that's gonna be able to help out for a little while. Would be good. But nothing like this. This is bad.
The moon haunts by the eye
I wouldn't have shifted that.
of
Healing for my friend.
the moon.
You can see there's none of your team's actually in this. And we didn't have a clone up with their team further up there, so that shift doesn't actually do anything.
By the eye of a
We could have teleported that.
come up.
Healing for my
The moon haunts by the
I mean, I just press F because you know you have clones around you that aren't. Well, you have one clone. You have a clone right here, and that's not in the range of Strange Ult. So, and at this point, I mean, if you get hit by the Strange Ult, you're probably dead. So, I would just press F. Even if you forgot where your clones are, press F and hope that it's out of range of Strange Ulti.
So close. This is your big chance.
I wouldn't have put a clone here because we can see our team is already like inside the building. I would just wait a second and put your clone up here. In fact, considering that your team is like all right here, yeah, I'd have one clone up here. It is really tough against Moon Knight right here because we can't put our other clone with our team. I mean, we could be putting a clone on top just to shift right here because this is kind of last fight. It looks like it might be a bit of a brawl, so maybe clone up here and then clone there and shift. Yeah. That or you put both clones up here for this specific situation.
together to victory.
Because the issue I have with the clone is just not gonna do anything there. That one's not doing anything. Also, we should already have another clone down. I would have probably used our right click instantly. Like, we could maybe have a clone like right here. Like, you know what? I know for a fact. You know what we do? 100% we have both our clones up here. And the reason is that we're down numbers right now because our people are on the way back. We notice that we're down numbers, right? And where the payload is, we can actually sit right here for overtime, and you can kind of pocket your team and give them a little bit more time to stall here. So that's what we should do. Have our clones here, pocket them right here. Oh yeah, we don't need to be touching at all there. We should not be on the point at all. We should be back here pocketing our team. There's no reason for us to stand up there. I think you might have been doing that because your Captain America ults. I'm guessing that's why you're up there. But in that position, even with a cap ult, you don't want to play on that point. Well, thank you so much for participating. If you have any questions or feedback from me, please let me know. And have a good day. Thank you.